All right, welcome to another episode of Mornings with Movers. I know it's been a couple of weeks. We've been, MIA, but life is lifing. So, but we are back. I hope you guys have been crushing it. Again, I'm Dwight with Max Movement Training. We got Phil Diamond in the building. It's been a while since he's been on the show, but we're gonna catch up today. What's going on, Phil?
I'm pretty good, brother. Trying to beat this cold spell.
Oh, yeah. Whatever. What you said the temperature was out there?
70.
Oh man. And well, I know it's mornings with movers, but what you eating for breakfast today?
Pizza.
Sounds
all
like
I
a
had.
Florida person.
Man, that's all I had this morning. I got to get something in my stomach, man.
Yeah. So how's the company been going?
Pretty good, man. The normal hustle and bustle, man.
Okay.
Uh, Challenging times, keeping good staff, man. It's gotten a lot better through the year since last year. More people now are out looking for a job, and I just, what concerns me, man, with the market is, man, the hiring market, man. And I ain't trying to knock nobody, bro, but I had a young man to come in here the other day. I had my AC guy here. He walked in and he smelled like weed. Look, hey, y'all hiring? I just look at it. I'm like, I got a driver's license. I'm like, no, no, thank you. Which is a little concerning, man, that we're getting that comfortable. But, at the end of the day, man, it's dangerous driving these trucks, man. And it's important to keep uh, safe drivers out there, man.
Yeah, no, it is crazy. And the regulations are only getting tighter and tighter. And, they're going to continue to just chomp down at these drivers. And the fact that you got to add them to your insurance is crazy as well, because their personal record affects your commercial record, you might as well say.
Yeah, yeah. Well, they've got now, man. I know our insurance company that we use, uh, they just won't allow, just say you got, they just say yes or no. There's no
Mhm.
option to add. So if you got, definitely if you're under a certain age and you've got this going on, something minor too, they'll say just no. Once you get, I think, past 25 or whatever the case is, it's a little bit more lenient, but they'll, man, we was sending so many driver's licenses in. No, 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 no. Like, Jesus Christ, man. And a lot of the guys, what happened is, man, a lot of these guys, man, they haven't had license in 10, 15 years, get their license. Yeah, they're good to go legally, but unfortunately, insurance don't think that's good. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
and like you said, that's rough by itself with the insurance companies vetting them right away and telling them no is like, and then in the back of your mind, you're like, I need a driver. Hey everybody, my name is Dwyght Mack with Max Movement Training. So we're gonna be doing a move and a pack today. But before we go in, there's just 10 basic rules that we just need to know before participating with this service. So number one, understand moving is a very, very stressful thing. The customer, they're uplifting their life from one location to another. They're having to call all these vendors and get all these suppliers in place so that basically they can make that transition. So their stress level is at the highest right now. We need to be a service provider that comes in and basically keep that stress level mitigated or very low. Come in as professionals and do our job the way we know how to do our job so that this customer is less stress during that move process. Number two, be on time. First impression is everything. You guys showing up outside of the window rubs the customer the wrong way. It messes up the rest of the move process. Even if you guys do the best job y'all can do, because one thing was off, this customer's mood is just off. Go up and beyond, be there before the time, as long as they're okay with it.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. So Deion Sanders, move a lot of the football players. I can't say all of them because I signed an NDA. So So I can't really say too many of them. The ones I can post pictures about, I can do.
All right. How did your sales and everything bounce back after the whole issue?
I'm still trying to bounce back from that. Luckily, I have a lot of referrals and a lot of returning customers. If you guys didn't know, I was with OnCube for 5 years or 5 or 6 years, and they handled everything. That was my sales force. OnCube was like a really big help for me when I first started. Because like how when you first started, when I first started, I had my cousins, my friends in the office. They were professional, but they wasn't listening too well. They wasn't doing what they were supposed to be doing. So when OnCube came in and the CRM system that they had, it was like next level. I didn't have to worry about deposits. I didn't have to worry about receipts. I didn't have to worry about. They answered my calls. They did everything. When that initial day, they said, "Hey, nobody's answering your calls." I didn't have nobody in the office. They were my administrators. They did everything for me. I'm still trying to bounce back from them. I'm trying to get new people. Luckily, we have a lot of the old OnCube call center employees. They're going to different moving companies, and they still helping us out as far as doing calls, or we can hire them to do certain things for us.
Okay. Well, if you ever need some sales reps, I definitely still have that source for you. As most already know, or I posted in the group that I'm outsourcing, sales reps and stuff like that as well.
Yeah, I've been working with MoveBees right now too.
Oh yeah, Tim is great.
Yeah, I've been working with Tim, and then I've been working with Smart Moving CRM system. I've been working with when I left from OnCube, I thought OnCube was like, okay, OnCube is good. Maybe there's somebody out there better, but OnCube really had a really nice app. They really had an app for movers that, like myself, I'm on the go all the time. So I need that. I can look at my phone. I can look at everything really quick. Or if I needed to book a job really quick, OnCube had all that in their app. So it's kind of hard right now that Chariot is out there, Smart Moving, Move It Pros, all these different, because I tried like 30 different ones. And so far, Smart Moving is closer to OnCube than anybody else. Smart Moving still has a lot of quirky stuff in it that they don't need to be there. But I think that's what I'm using right now. And then I'm teaming up with MoveBees to do my answering my calls for me right now.
Well, Verna, I didn't know how long you wanted this episode to be because you're on a call with Supermove people.
It's okay. No, don't say that.
Look. I talked to Supermove. Look, I talked to Supermove, and then Supermove was different. Like it wasn't too cost effective for me, and I needed a crew app, and they only use you need an iPad the users, I run so many people, I needed a crew app and for them to do a lot of things. But my friend that's out of our way moving out of New York, I think you know him probably. He's used Supermove, and he said he can discuss some stuff with me later. So he's been trying to get me, when he comes to Texas all the time. He's building a new warehouse, or he almost done. But he's with Supermove right now. So,
heck yeah, we got one of them. Good.
Yeah. No, never feel bad, man. What you like is what you like, and I've said this on many episodes. Right? There's depending on how you operate, depending on what really you're attracted to within the piece and how you run. Like there's things for everybody, right? So I don't take offense by it. I think it's awesome. I love to get back, and you win a lot of some, and you lose a couple of others. It's just
I do like Supermove, but it was just the cost effective. It was just I was running a lot of stuff, and Supermove they have a lot. You have to really get into it, and then I think Supermove is better than more than a lot of moving. A lot of I think it's better than Moving Pro and Smart Moving, but it's not, the app is not there yet. That what I needed, because Smart Moving is probably better for like a bigger company that have the apps, the the iPads and stuff. But my guys, I'm not gonna give them iPads so they can break them. So
Yeah.
that's the one thing. Yeah, that's the one thing. Like I could tell somebody, oh, I left the iPad somewhere or something like that. So I need something with it, like a phone.
You know
Even
what? They got and I think you hit on it a couple weeks ago, Ryan, but I think with the Apple tags that's now there.
Yeah.
You can stick that right to the back of your tablet and ain't gotta worry about losing those bad boys. Or
They
you
still,
It's are
movers
you
still
guys
leave
gonna
the
get an
tablets
app?
behind.
Number three, make sure your team is in uniform, they're groomed, their hygiene is checked, because that's the worst thing you could do, especially going in a house. Customer can smell your guy from a mile away, and now, again, their mood is just thrown off. So make sure that you guys are in uniform, you're tight, you have uniform shirts, it doesn't look like, you have a laborer that's, hired from off the street. Presentation is everything that goes towards your first impression. Number four, introduce both you and your partner when greeting the customer. Don't just go to the door by yourself, while your driver is unloading the truck, and introduce yourself. Actually have both of you there. Introduce yourself first, then introduce your partner second, and then, allow them to welcome you into their home. Yeah, no, I had a client of mine currently who said that basically they did a two-part move for a customer, and they was on the way back for the second part of the move to bring all the stuff back into the house, and the customer was like, "Oh yeah, there's stuff that got damaged, blah 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 blah," and it's a big expensive home, so that customer is paying money, and he was like, "Oh well, I can give you back, some of this money. I can give you back some of that money. I can give you back some of this money." And ultimately, he was like, "Oh, I'm up to like $3,000, just easily, just discounting the bill." And he still haven't received a dime yet. He's trying to close out the job.
Hmm.
And I'm just like, dude, don't start negotiating until you close out the job.
You're right. Unfortunately, that's how it has to be, bro. We learned our lesson from that.
You don't want to start because at the end of the day, one, your contract should line up. If it says that, oh well, your guys are working 2 days for 15 hours, and your contract states that your hourly rate for 15 hours is $200, which is supposed to add up to $3,000 if I'm doing it right. If that's the case, but your final bill says that you only made 2,000 off of it, something isn't lining up.
Right.
And then now, if something ever goes to court and you're like, well, the customer never paid me the full balance anyways. We discounted their bill by $1,000 or whatever the case is. And now they're like, well, we don't see that in here.
Right.
Well, that's something we worked out internally. Well, here is hearsay.
Right.
You still owe that customer money because you had no paper trail.
Well, I'll tell you something we added, and it's actually been working out pretty well. That way, no one's sending random pictures of, a piece of furniture that got damaged to a random office number. Anything that occurs, go on our website and file a claim. Can't go with just following the process. And unfortunately, people don't like doing that. Because they got to, oh, well, you can't do it. I sent you the picture. Like, we don't have any picture. I sent it to your office line. Well, that's a landline, so we definitely ain't got that. And you tell these people that and tell these people that, and they just still, unfortunately, it's not their fault that something got damaged, in their home, of course. But I think transparency is probably the best way to keep yourself out of getting a bad reputation too, because I'll give you a little bit of insight, man. When before these storms hit Dwight, we were way understaffed, but we were taking all the jobs. Unfortunately, I didn't have enough people trained in certain areas to be doing the certain jobs that they were doing, even though they worked here. That wasn't their strong point. Packing. Everybody can pack, no matter if they've been moving for 10, 15 years, right? I mean, unfortunately, you get just guys that they suck at it, just like football. Everybody playing football, that don't mean they can be the quarterback, you know what I mean? Everybody's got their spot, right? And we ran into issues. We were sending guys on pack job. We knew they shouldn't have been packing, unfortunately. Just you go as much as you train and train and train, but you walk in a house and you done went in there and packed up a whole room, and you go in there and look, and he ain't no white paper in here. Where your white paper at? Oh, I don't use paper. What I do is I just do it like this. You know what I mean? Then you go in there and push on the box, and then you look in the box, and they're just taking stuff and dumping it.
But that's a whole nother thing. It's like I mentioned to you before on a few like over 20 podcasts ago. Um, the one thing is that you definitely can't be on every job, but you also got to make sure that um that process stays up to date, where, hey, have packing training, and congratulations on your training room, but have packing training, where you could basically, hey, this is how we're going to pack the box. This is how we're going to pack the box all the time. And then basically hold that lead driver accountable for making sure that each box is packed appropriately. And, obviously you can't hold everybody accountable, but you can hold like the top people, your supervisors accountable.
Yeah.
And tell them, hey, you know what? You guys do a great packing job. Your team do a great packing job. Maybe you incentivize them some way, somehow, based on how little claims you get that don't come from your pack jobs.
I tell you, man, this business is such a volatile business. It kind of reminds me of the crypto market. It's so volatile, man, where 1 month you can do 100, 200, 300,000, next month you do 20. So a lot of moving company owners get a little nervous, man, of course, especially when they know that sometimes they're getting ready to get slow.
Mm-hmm.
And, you don't want to waste money training 5, 10 guys that ain't going to work out. And the money's not really flowing in. You got a little nest egg put up, but the money's not quite flowing in. And you got some guys that's kind of like, do I really want to train these guys? And then next thing you know, bam, you're so busy you can't keep up.
Mm-hmm.
Or you're dead. I mean, you're dead in the water. You ain't got enough work for them. Now they done moved on. Or you took the time to train them, and you got slow after that, and they went and took that training somewhere else.
Yeah.
And then, of course, we have to look at it as, I can't say it's money down the drain, but it kind of is.
Yeah, no, it definitely is.
You
Um,
know, but I think it's in every industry, man. It's moving industry is a very unique business, man. It's
Yeah, but I feel like some businesses have that nest egg, like you mentioned, that are more secure. Even if retail slows down after the holiday season, they're not dead in the water per se, like come January, December. They're still going to make money. They're just
oh
not
yeah,
that holiday money.
right.
Whereas moving, if you're in an upstate area where it's cold, You see some snow on the ground, you better cancel that move today because that move likely ain't happening.
A lot of guys didn't do very well this summer, bro. Uh, Talking to a lot of guys, man, it just, I'm hearing guys that went and bought all these new trucks, brand new trucks, leasing, they're trying to sell them now. Just workload what they thought it was going to be. You know, that COVID workload was a totally different workload.
Yeah, that definitely was. It slowed down for us during that year. It slowed down for us in April. And then like May and June, like it was so busy that like it was like ridiculous. I was like almost like I think we got up to almost like 100, 120 moves that year. And I know that's nothing to you, but it was like insane. Because in our winter months, at least for my company or so when I was running the business, we were, I think in January, we was glad if we got like 30 moves on the board because of how cold it was, you know. And to
With that,
keep all you guys fed with 30 moves ain't that much.
and it's difficult, bro, especially up there up north, man. Here it shouldn't be this way, but it is, unfortunately. You get guys, man. I mean, some of these guys got a good system, man. I tell you, man. I laughed at this guy, and I really, when I really thought about it, Wire, and I really figured out the chemistry behind the whole ordeal. I'm like, damn, this guy's actually charging more money than we are. So he advertises $99 an hour. Take this out.
Oh yeah, I remember you telling me this one.
Guy's very transparent about the charges. People just see that $99 an hour. That's what they see. He charges from however far his shop is, they clock in. They leave that shop and drive. Most people around here do just an hour travel. If it's within, a certain range, they just automatically add that hour in. They clocking in from their shop. So he clocks in when he leaves his shop. And he clocks a customer wherever they move to. He clocks them back out. Adds the time in from when he leaves that customer house, wherever GPS is. GPS is themselves back. And he stopped their clock at that point. And when you really break that down, because realistically, a lot of times your guys are getting, even if it's a 30-minute drive, 45-minute drive, your guys, you're only billing the customer for an hour drive. Your guys are actually getting a little bit more time than that time that you've actually billed for. But this guy, man, he got it. He charges double for everything. So you want a mattress bag? $45. So he leaves all of this stuff. He kind of like he holds it, right? He doesn't. He don't sell it at the beginning because, of course, at the beginning you're just raising up that estimate, right?
Mm-hmm.
3 days prior, a guy that knows him told me. Talked to him about it. He said, "Well, 3 days prior, we called. Hey, you guys need any assistance with packing? No. What about mattress bags, TV boxes? Oh yeah, that not part of the move. No, we can shrink wrap it, but shrink wrap $50 a roll. You don't want to in the time that it takes. So he'll sell that mattress back $30 when we're charging 10. At TV box rental, he's charging $50. You see what I'm saying? Like he's making up all that cost, and then another transparency into the bill, whatever the bill is total, a percent. 15, I think 15 or 20% fuel surcharge.
Mm.
All transparent. Guys got decent reviews. But at first, I was just looking at the overall, right? We charge $150 an hour. Yeah, but you're starting your time and you're clocking out when you leave from B, right? You're not getting that extra 2 hours there at $100 an hour, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of, I guess some could see it as shady business, but how do you see it as shady business if it's transparent to you?
Yep.
verbally, paperwork, everything. And people sign up, they just see that $99. That's it. $99, $99, $99, dude.
Yeah, yeah, that's crazy because I know that like for our travel fee, we just did it based off of miles. So we had to go like 25 miles or so like that. We would automatically charge like a half an hour. And basically that would be a total of the miles from our headquarters to the first location and then from the second location back. So we realized that that whole going and coming was like 50 miles, then we're going to charge you an hour or whatever, however many crew members are out there. So if it was three crew members that was worth $220 with a truck, we're going to charge you $220 as a travel fee.
Yeah.
And it was really good when we had the six men out there, and the six men with two trucks are like almost $400. And you're like, oh, 1 hour out there, $400 just for you guys to travel and come back? That
Mm-hmm.
sounds good.
Good time. You have to unfortunately take the good with the bad, man, with this business, man.
Mm-hmm.
I've grown I've grown to hate it.
Yeah, that and it comes like that just because I feel like the insurance, the insurance is a nightmare by itself. So no matter all the good money that it sounds like you're making, you're really not because, obviously that insurance is going to take a hit. You got to do payroll every week, and payroll is getting their percentage. And I feel like that's a lucrative idea right there. With the way payroll be like, oh yeah, we just got to process your payroll. We're going to take 1% of whatever you make this week as our service fee. And you're like, 1%. My payroll was $30,000. That means you're going to take at least, what is it? I think in that case it's going to be like $300. Um, but that's still like it just keeps fluctuating.
Yeah, it's definitely a different game, man. It's not like, you got a flooring guy, right? Flooring guy can get with several contractors, and that contractor will keep him busy.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Mass majority of those jobs, a mass majority of moving jobs are just a 1 day job, right? Until you start getting into like packing, moving, and then unpacking and stuff like that. But a mass majority, I don't know what percent. I would probably say a high percent though, like 80% of moving is a 1 day deal, and that's it. You're done, right?
That's why I love the industry because of that reason. I'm like, you know what, you're one and done with these customers. Just make sure you guys do your absolute best job with this customer, and you probably never have to worry about seeing them again. Um,
Right.
whereas any other field like construction or anything like that or painting, you got to see that same customer multiple times. And it's just like, I don't I don't like that. I just want to pick it up, put it down, and not have to think twice about it.
Yeah. Just like if you're in carpenter, you got to go back and do like punch out stuff, touch up. It's like did something with flooring and it cracked. It got warranty stuff to deal with. You know what I mean? Like,
Mhm.
even though you get paid for it, small amount to go do warranty work, but if it was something that was warrantyable. But the story just kind of where this business is at, though, is
Yeah.
what I'm gathering, man. Now that we're damn near max capacity in this building now. It took a while to get this building filled up. Um, we didn't really do a lot of marketing outside of like we should have done. Marketing only for the storage because we're wanting the storage clients instead of the clients bringing us stuff. That way we control what comes in.
Yeah, well, that's why you didn't want to market that way.
Exactly. But
Because we had some customers that were like, oh, well, I'm not gonna use your services on the way out because of whatever reason. So I'm gonna have either another company come and grab the stuff from your unit, or can we drop our stuff off with our U-Haul and then kind of go from there? And you're just like, well, one, we're losing a move on either side of that. And it was supposed to be a two-part move. That was the whole purpose of having storage.
right,
So we would still, in that case, we would still charge them like the handle out fee. Hey, we got to still handle your stuff, get it to the door for you, make sure that everything is good. And then kind of like probably unwrap out blankets as well because the other companies come in and they're gonna have to rewrap your stuff. So this is gonna be a whole process.
We've only had so far one client, man, and it wasn't anything that we've done. She was actually moving long distance, and we gave her a quote for a move. And we had did a lot of local moves for this girl, and we actually, for the long distance move, it was still within the state. Gave her a quote for it, being that it was here. And man, she called, went with a different company, with something I can afford. Like, didn't even really try to negotiate the move. So I got the guys to pull the stuff out and put it in the center. You know what I mean? Unwrap everything. She was here. Random guy pulls up. She's here, already here. She's talking to me in the lobby, and I'm like, gave her a hug, tell her, good luck on her stuff. And she's like, well, who's that? And I'm like, I don't know. Make a long story short, dude. So I had to go out there and tell the guy, like, listen, dude, you don't need to probably be talking to that girl that way, man. Like they told her one price and they got here like, oh, well, you didn't mention this and you didn't mention this and you didn't mention this. So they were getting ready to jack the price up on her $2,000. Make a long story short, bro, this girl was, she worked for the news stations. That's what I told him. Thing over there, he had no markings, no nothing on his truck. He was just random guy. She said, oh, I hired such and such. Oh, they brokered it out to us. So now she don't, and then she look in the back of the truck. Dude, there in this box truck. He's got 4 families on this box truck. Not separated whatsoever. And I followed up with her, man, out of just seeing how everything went. Make sure she got her stuff. She never called me back. After they left, because she was pissed. She's like, if I knew this, I would just let you guys take this stuff. And I'm like, when it sounds too good to be true, it is.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like,
we had a few of those as well, where they would have wished they would have went with you, but they were too worried about the price. And then last minute, like literally the day before, they're calling you and they're like, "Oh yeah, it's too. Do you guys still have availability for tomorrow?" And it's like, no,
no.
But it happens. But that is one of those sucky stories. I have been seeing people with trucks. Like there's one guy I seen in a Facebook group, advertising his company and stuff like that. Super excited. And I'm super excited for him that, hey, he got a good company. But when I looked at his truck, it was like he had no licensings on his door. So you already know that, okay, this guy, he may or may not be rogue because he did go out his way and brand his truck.
See, that's the gamble there. There's a lot of guys around here running around here, calling themselves your competition. Like, you're not competition until you're not running a business. It's not a business if it's not a business, right? If you're running a legal company, this is what people fall short at. Like, I own this company, but it's not a company. You know what I mean? Like that's not your competition there. You know what I mean, bro?
Mm-hmm.
Funny you say that, dude. It's a lot of guys, and what I'm starting to notice, man, is these local groups. I'm sure you got them on Facebook there too, like Syracuse's community groups and stuff like that. What I'm starting to see is a lot of clients now going instead of using Google, but I always notice they go online. Do anybody know any moving companies? Really? You don't want to look online for reviews because you think they may be fraudulent. So you're going to ask a community that you don't know? No, you're looking for cheap. That's what they're looking for. They're looking for the bare bottom minimum.
Sometimes they're looking for referrals.
Some, but a lot of the ones I see, Dwyght, I'm telling you, man, you have to kind of read the message. It's like, oh, well, I called a couple moving companies. When you hear that one, boy, you already know. They look at what I just need a guy with a pickup truck that can make 15 loads.
Yeah, and then oh yeah, my husband he'll help them out as well. So, we don't really need that many guys. And you're like, we've been down this road already. Your move requires three people, and you're like send two people because your husband's gonna be that third person that we know darn well ain't gonna help.
No, the two guys, man. It's sad, man, but we live in a world, man, where people don't even realize that we're human. Like when we get calls, people saying, "Oh, I just need two movers." Well, hold on, what are we moving? Let's rewind a little bit. Oh, the two movers did it the last time, but they broke a lot of stuff. Why do you think they broke a lot of stuff? You worked. They was there 17 hours. You know what I mean, on a job. What do you think happened? And trust me, bro, I've learned my lesson from this, Dwight. We start to try to get a little bit better on, because a lot of my guys are older, man. And I like having the older movers, bro, because of the experience. They're good with the clients. No, they're not running up and down the steps like a 20-something-year-old man, but they're getting the job done. I
Yeah.
tell you, it, once our body gets to us, especially in the summer heat, bro, I told Melissa, I said, we gotta stop letting jobs run, local job, loading and unload jobs run over 12 hours. It's too much.
Yeah, that's way too much.
That's way too much. That's a 2-day job now. Unfortunately, somebody done told them, oh, we get it done. People, you say, okay, well, I can just throw some more people at it, right?
Hmm.
Throw more people in. Oh, that's way too much now. Why don't we just do it? People don't really do the logistics. They want to control the logistics too of the move because I've moved myself for 20 years.
Well, and that's the crazy part is some companies don't know how to properly quote. So they don't know, like they know the pricing. They know, say, well, hey, I'm going to go from a three guy to a five guy. Okay, well, that's going to increase from say 220 to 270 or whatever the case is. You know, but they don't know how it affects the time. Oh, well, instead of me sending you three guys for uh 9 hours, if I sent you five guys, you're looking at approximately 6 hours. You know, if people understood how it affects the output, then basically it makes quoting a lot easier and it makes it explaining to the customer a lot easier because then they're like, oh, so by adding two additional guys, you're saying you guys can probably be out of here around the 6 hour marker versus, being here all day.
Right. Nobody don't want to deal with you all day.
I seen one of the companies use this slogan where it's like, hey, we're sending so many more guys out to your job regularly now because basically we want to make sure that your move is done before dinner time.
Oh, I've seen that too. I can't think of a Big Lick or something like that.
Yeah, yeah,
Yep.
yeah, yeah. So I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. That's a strong motto. If you could start all your jobs early in the day.
I guarantee you that the damage claim is very low too.
Oh yeah, because they start early and they end early.
Yeah. They got enough manpower. Because that's what we all fall short at, dude. You know what I mean? You're trying to do several different things here. You got to keep guys busy because you're going to get busy at another point where you're going to need all these guys. So you're trying to drag jobs out, of course, where you should have had four people on a job. Now you're going to send two people. That way they can get a 10-hour day out of that job because the next 2 days you really ain't got nothing for them.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So it's kind of like a double-edged sword. And then you do all that, and then guess what? By the end of the day, you don't book 8 jobs the rest of the week.
Yep,
You
now
done
they
booked 8.
screwed. Hey, I need you tomorrow.
Yeah, you remember? Yeah, I remember I was talking. Yeah. Never mind. Yeah, and
But
this is how it goes. Dwight. If
yeah.
anybody knows,
And
you
but the
know.
crazy part is I've used to see people in the industry who was scheduling their guys on doubles and triples in a day. And I've done a triple once and I would never ever want to do it again. But I've done doubles as well. And doubles I can understand, it depending on how small the first job is. Hey, if it's a couple hours or a few hours, okay, you know what? They're done by 12. take an hour lunch break, get back get to the customer house by 1:30, 2 o'clock, and start that second move for, hopefully another few hours, nothing crazy. But it's when those customers are dishonest with you in the beginning, where you send three, four guys, and now they're still at that first location until like 4 o'clock. And the other customer is looking for them like, hey, where's the guys at? Where's the guys at? They were supposed to be here like an hour ago. And you're just like, oh, they're wrapping up right now. They should be to you by 6 o'clock. 6 o'clock. That is the day. And they still got to do a 4 hour move. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
guys, I'll see y'all in the morning.
Yeah, they looking at you like, man. Yeah, but that's what now, like when we're doing our interviewing process, this job is not for everybody, man.
Hmm.
You got guys that just they're focused. Unfortunately, we were actually getting ready to let one of our guys go. He actually ended up quitting prior to us letting him go, which was a blessing. But he was just so focused on that tip, bro. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like you can't focus, greedy. In other words, this young kid, man, they can, I done learned a little bit, but I don't know everything. But I need to make $40 an hour. Like, damn, dude, you need to go find something else to do. You know what I mean? Like, you're not even sure. You still got folks co-signing with you on cars, like your parents. Like, you're still that young.
Yeah, no.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, you got to grow up a little bit. But greed, man. But poor customer service, bro. And you know what, Dwight? I'm guilty of it. My customer service is not the greatest, bro. I'm telling you, man. I've had some arguments with customers, bro. I don't like when people try to think I'm dumb, because I already think something's wrong with me. Dwight, I thought I couldn't read, bro. I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. I thought my ass could not read, dude, and didn't realize my ass is damn blind, Dwight. Blind as hell. I put on Melissa's glasses last week, and I'm like, damn. I just started reading. I'm like, damn, I know. I was so happy. I'm like, damn, I do know how to read. I
He's like,
read Clifford Stark's book, which is good. I read his book and everything, man. I'm like, damn, I know how to read.
he's like, damn, I'm about to read this whole encyclopedia. But
I'm like, damn, man. But
no, they do like to play that game or so like that. But that's why, like I said, you always got to bring them back to the contract, and regardless of the fact that they say they don't, oh, they didn't see this part in the contract, is one of those things where, hey, we sent you this contract weeks in advance, so you can, comb through it. If you had any questions or whatever case is, you can reach out to us. You signed it, you signed it again at the end of the move, and so forth. But like I said, the biggest thing telling my client yesterday is like, don't, in some cases, if you can't just take off an hour or two, depending on, your guy's performance, whether they was moving too slow, or whatever the case is, then if it's a claim, that needs to be settled once the bill is completely paid. We're not doing this in the house.
no,
You're just going to be finding different things here and there. You're going to be walking around, want me to walk around with you to say, oh, well, this little nick wasn't there or this wasn't there. And it's like, no, no. And like, because basically you're going to call me back the next day after I done cut your bill down by so much. Call me back the next day and say you found something else.
oh yeah, they got you now. That's why I'm telling you, man, having that claim form on our website, because once they file that claim, it's just like car insurance. Once you file that claim, you're done. If
Mm-hmm.
you find something wrong with your vehicle, freaking 3 days later after you done signed that form, you're dead in the water. So that's why we try to go ahead and go in and fill that claim out. It's not actually going to our insurance; it's actually just coming right back to our claims department here to evaluate. But it cuts out all that riffraff of. But I think what I'm going to start doing, man, I think another area where I'm lacking at is being transparent on the claims process. I don't like talking about claims because you start getting people, man, then they start thinking free. Not everybody, but being a little bit more transparent on your estimates of, in the occurrence that something happens, uh, here, we're making some pamphlets here. It's where you can go file a claim at, and that's where your claim goes. Don't text it, don't email it back to the sales desk, or anything because it's not going to get answered. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I would say the one thing is you gotta let customers know is that it's not insurance that we're offering you because when they first call you, they're gonna probably ask you, "Hey, are you fully insured?" The
Mm-hmm.
answer is yes, I'm fully insured, but that does not apply to you. Basically that applies to me as a company being licensed to operate, but we do offer our customers valuation. And they're like, "Oh, what's that?" Well, valuation is completely different from insurance. It's basically how much we can cover up to, you know. And by them knowing that and you explaining their options to them, hey, whether they want to go with relocation.com for their insurance, if you're affiliated with them, which most people should be affiliated with them because it's free, you know.
Yeah, and they give you a kickback too, bro. Like 5 or 6%. It's a no-brainer.
Yeah, and then and then you also let her know about your valuation options, such as 60 cents or 30 cents per pound. New York being 30 cents per pound, but we sometimes offer that little 60 because we know 30 ain't going to cover nothing. It may not even cover your mouth when you're coughing, but but so we like, you know what, we'll offer them 60 cents per pound, or we'll offer them like a $2,500 lump sum, which is your cargo, pretty much like your cargo coverage. Um, and likelihood, most people just like the 60 cents per pound. They'll say, okay, well, I'm going to have you sign off stating that you wanted the 60 cents per pound. So don't later on try to say, oh, well, hey, I wanted the full value protection. No, because I went over this with you verbally, and then I had you initial next to it saying that this was the option you want to go with.
But
And
that's why. Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
no, no, go ahead, go ahead.
No. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, no, I was done.
Oh, okay. You kind of glitched there a little bit, so I thought you were completely done. Um, no, I was going to say, what was I going to say? So here we try not to, and I know a lot of salespeople and everybody says different, bro. I've never been a pressure to sell kind of guy, right? We collect information, right? Uh, Receptionist collected information. She passes it over to sales. Sales actually puts the numbers together and sends the quote over. What's told to the client is carefully read over your estimate before signing. If you're wanting to do this, if you have any questions, let us know. But if you have questions, ask. Don't assume. And this is what people assume. Now, I say this, bro, because before I got in the moving industry, bro, if I never got in the moving industry and I hired a mover, if they just told me if I went online and looked and it's licensed and insured, I went and looked on Florida Department of Agriculture, which we had to file here, and I seen, okay, they're insured, so they have insurance. Now, let's say I watched the guys drop my TV. I'm gonna automatically assume that they got to buy me a new TV,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah.
Now, because I didn't know all this 60 cents, so of course none of us did. You know what I mean? So, but this assumptions sometimes is no good for you.
Yeah. And you got to have that process in place where you don't get overwhelmed. Like, I didn't have my sales team talking about valuation.
Yeah.
No point. Because basically their whole job was they were already giving the customer too much information. They was telling, asking customers questions. Hey, do you need storage? Do you need packing? Here's how our packing works. Here's how our delivery services work. Here's what our guys will do when they come to your house. Here's how we charge. All of this stuff. And then they basically, and then whatever questions the customer have on top of that, they're just going over so much information to ultimately book that customer that when we do a 7-day confirmation and that call goes from the sales department to the operations department, well, hey, it's a whole different ballpark.
Mhm.
Now operations is talking to you on an operations level. Hey, I'm not here to talk about sales. I'm not here to sell you on anything. I'm going to let you know what the how the job is going to look, how everything's going to play out, who's going to be your crew, how many trucks you're going to need, did anything change? Here's the valuation, and kind of go from there. So now it's like a clear, concise conversation. They didn't call on the same day to overwhelm the customer. They kind of waited a little bit of time so the customer could, let all that information digest. And then they're not overwhelming the customer with new information. They're really just doing a recap of whatever was already booked.
Yeah.
So, I just feel like at that point, that's the perfect time to talk about it. And then if you do a 2-day follow-up after the 7-day follow-up, you're then still initiating things. Well, hey, so the guys are going to be there in about 2 days. They're going to call you in the morning. We went over, did anything change based on our last conversation we had a week ago? Oh no, same thing. Nothing really changed. Inventory's the same. Okay, great. So, we're gonna keep this call really short. Again, for the valuation purposes, you did choose the 60 cents per pound. That's just as a reminder. So the guys will have you just initial that again when they get there. Um, and everything is gonna go smooth. Our guys do a really great job. And we just have to let customers know upfront that these are their options. So in case something does happen, because we are moving a lot of pieces, there are a lot of moving parts, you're covered. And feeling comfortable saying that stuff, and that's just all about having the right people in the right seats to feel comfortable. Because a lot of people may not feel comfortable. Oh, I don't want to talk about valuation. It makes me nervous. It may make them nervous. It may give them a bad stigma. But if you don't talk about it, it's gonna give us a bad stigma as a company because they were like, oh, nobody ever disclosed that. So yeah, it's a lot with evaluation, but basically, I think once people get to that point, they need to utilize this in their claim process when they do get a claim and not just say, well, hey, I know we talked about the 60 cents per pound. I know you signed the 60 cents per pound, but I'm going to just give you $500. And that's not even part of the evaluation. And the reason why they do that is because they don't know how to utilize the 60 cents per pound.
Right. Right.
You
Well,
know,
just like movinginsurance.com, you file a claim, it's like a card. They look at they have a chart they go off of depreciation.
hmm
You know, people don't want to hear that shit though.
No, so there is a website I found which was super helpful that goes over depreciation of household goods stuff as well. So like if
Really?
you got a stove, if you have any item in your household, you just plug in how many years old it was, and it'll tell you what the depreciation amount of that stove was. Even if you pay $5,000 for it and it's a 10-year-old stove, it's going to say, well, hey, it depreciated at this much, so it's really worth this much. And you could kind of use that in a full value claim situation if you were doing it in-house. But for the 60 cents per pound, there's an actual pamphlet that you could download online. And it gives you the weight of every item in a household, and you basically take that weight of that item times about 60 cents per pound, and that's your payout for that particular item.
Yeah.
But a lot of people, again, don't know this process, and
Yeah.
they're just like,
So,
well, we just have to offer 60 cents per pound. But how are you weighing that item? How do you know the weight of that item?
right, without Googling, like if you Google lens it while you were there or something like that, you know what I mean? Maybe, with technology now, that
Mhm.
Google lens, boy, that thing right there, boy,
hmm
you know what I mean? We use it, I use it a lot for a little bit of everything, bro.
And if you
But
don't inventory properly in your CRM, which most people don't as well because they don't want to overwhelm the customer or the customer forgot to add some stuff.
yeah,
Now, what are you going to use the estimated weight in your CRM? You could, but it won't probably be accurate.
yeah,
You're like, oh, that double dresser that we got in the CRM. Oh, it says 400 cubic feet. And, it adds up to about 230 pounds. Well, that might not actually be the true weight of that item. So now
right,
you either overpaid or you underpaid. And in most cases, what I do is when I resolve those claims, I would say, well, hey, your item was 200 pounds at 60 cents per pound. You're looking at 60, about, what is it? about $60 or about 120. So that you're looking about that much money that we'll be able to give you back. And now if the customer says, well, hey, this dress is not 200 pounds, it's definitely more than that. Well, at that point, I would say, hey, can you find that item online wherever you purchased it at and give me the weight of that item? Send me a picture of it. They're like, sure, we'll do that. Send me a picture of it. Oh, it's 350 pounds. Okay, well, we'll take your weight of the item because you know what it was times the 350, but at least I have a benchmark. But that would help people in a lot of ways as well. But people are just saying that, well, hey, I don't want a bad review. I'm just going to pay for it to get fixed.
Yeah.
And that's going to put you out of business more than anything else. Like, the guy said, oh, well, after trying to resolve this claim, I'm just trying to make payroll next week. Well, you wouldn't have to struggle to make payroll even if you paid out the damage claim
Yeah.
properly.
We're dealing with one now, guys. This chair wasn't even supposed to be a custom chair. This lady actually wasn't even supposed to be there. I didn't even know that the chair even got moved, got tore. So I called a upholstery company. This job we already done at somewhat of a super discounted rate. And one of those jobs, man, you think back about like I shouldn't have done that job that way. Anyway, the lady didn't move what she was supposed to have been taking. We flat rated the job. It is what it is. We didn't keep track of what was taken and what wasn't, right? That damaged chair, I called an upholstery company to see how much it was. So the lady, I think, kind of set us up for this. The lady went and left a review for the guys, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then the next day, she bring up the chair, right? Oh, I just left you guys a positive review. So she got mad because she texted pictures to she takes pictures back to one of the guys about the damaged chair, right? Well, they're not part of the claims process.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, I text pictures to y'all main line. Well, that's not a textable phone. We've already been through this. Man, that chair was over $1,000 of reupholstery. Over $1,000.
And what valuation option did you have her on?
60 cents on the pound.
There you go.
Yeah, but the thing of it, I'm weighing out the options, bro, because she went and left reviews in 3 different areas, and one of them actually stuck. Oh, yo,
They were good or bad?
no, it was good. She left a positive review. Before, I hate to think this about this lady, dude, but I didn't really want to do this job. It kind of just snuck in. But this lady, dude, I believe my guys, unfortunately, don't remember. Of course, like they never remember. But it looks like somebody cut it with a razor knife, trying to, unwrap it or whatever. And now we're weighing out the options on, okay, we got to present this 60 cents on the pound, which you took. Because now well, I'm selling that chair for $1,500. Oh, the chair is now actually valued at $6,500, which she ain't lying. That same chair now, it's like $6,000.
Mm,
You want me to give you $6,000 for a $3,000 move?
absolutely not. You can't even do $1,000. That's
Bro,
33%.
bro, that job was actually like a $5,000 or $6,000 job that we done for $3,000.
Mm.
And to be honest with you, it was just one of those days we needed to turn a truck. Had the crew available, dude. The company, after it was all said and done with supplies and stuff, the company, literally, the guys worked like 15 hours, bro.
Wow.
And you talking about 7 guys, pack and load, and should have done it, bro. Pack and load same day, elevator situations. I mean, it was just a horrible, luckily that was all that got damaged. Just a bad, you kind of live and you learn, man. You know what I mean? But when I seen that lady she sent that review, I went, I Google, you can go back and look and see the reviews they've left. I went back and looked at this lady. This is her game. She goes back and edits reviews. She goes and leaves a review, positive review, and then she goes back and edit them a few days later, week later, months later. I just don't like the bad reviews, bro. Especially, when someone has pictures, and especially during a slower time like we're into right now.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
But
we're
but
not
that
god we're not god awful slow. There's a lot of people out here not doing too well, and especially a lot of the guys that's running illegally. They're
yeah.
not, they're kind of, I call them bottom feeders.
Mm-hmm. I
You
would
know
say
what I mean?
I would say bad reviews aren't it speaks to credibility, but it also speaks volume because they know that people aren't perfect.
Right.
You know,
I like pictures though. You know what I mean? When people post those reviews and they put those pictures on online, I don't like those.
oh yeah, yeah, no, no, no.
Those are the ones, but those are actually easier to get off.
Oh,
Yeah.
I thought those stick. Those stick.
Yeah, ones with the pictures. No, the one on the Yelp, man, they don't really look at those pictures, bro. You can
Yelp gonna
put it,
show all your reviews anyways.
yeah, you can just put on their nudity and they'll delete that shit, bro. So let me tell you what this one company did real quick, Dwight. What they used to do, and I seen this. She would respond back to the customer. She would put their full name. Hello, Mrs. Such and Such. Address such and such, apartment, such and such, Florida, phone. She would put all of their information in on this on the review.
Mm.
Now only the bad reviews. Then you would go back and look. That review would be gone.
Oh yeah, because she put too much information.
Yes. Now that was only on the bad reviews and or that customer seeing like they literally just put all my information online on a public forum. It was a way of her of insulting the client, intimidation.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
No, that's all. That's awesome. I would say, well, that's not awesome, but I would say a good thing to do, if you haven't been utilizing your Facebook page, is definitely utilize your company's Facebook page, to continue to get more and more outreach to people that you just know in your Florida market or whatever the case is by, having them like your page. And every time you guys post something on your Facebook page, they're seeing it.
right.
And then that sometimes starts to resonate with people that's on social media. When you do a good move for a customer and you post it right on your social media page, they're like, oh, okay, yeah, I just use this company. So when they tag your company in their post to refer to another customer, it links them right to your Facebook page. So if you haven't, I don't know if you're utilizing your Facebook page too much because I don't think I follow your Facebook page.
We actually started doing some redirect marketing on the face, and that actually works out pretty good for redirect marketing on
Mhm.
Facebook. So we actually post. We didn't really deal with Facebook so much, but now we have office staff. We actually have someone posting every day, every single day, every single day, every single day. There's something, whether it's National Sunglasses Day or National Hat Day or whatever. They have a day for something. But yeah, Facebook is definitely a good one. I mean, for the redirect marketing, that's the best tool to have.
Mhm. All right, y'all. So we are at the top of the hour. So definitely thank you again for joining us, Phil. Hopefully we'll see you on some more episodes because it's been a while since we all teamed up. We got to get that Clifford Meister on here. Now that he renowned, known what do you call it, publisher.
Oh
Uh,
yeah.
we got to get him on here as well. So definitely keep turning it up. Obviously I know you're gonna thrive regardless. So everybody else, y'all keep doing your thing. It is, what, November, so we got Thanksgiving next week. Godly. So definitely, have a great time with your family. We probably definitely won't go live on Thanksgiving because I know y'all be, stuffing y'all faces. Um, but we'll see y'all soon. Anything on your end, Phil?
Nope. Everybody have a good Thanksgiving. And yeah, enjoy yourself. Thank you guys for having me again.
All right, y'all. Y'all take care.
Later, Dwight.
Later, later.